Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome back to the channel. Mortal Kombat. Yep, I know I'm a little bit late on talking about this movie, but man oh man, it seems like it's been a couple of years now since we reviewed the original Mortal Kombat that came out a couple of years ago that focused on Ko and turned Goro from a menacing monster into a freaking ninja. I was not a fan. I was not a fan at all, but I am happy to say here today that Mortal Kombat 2 essentially takes what made the game special and just focuses on that. And I can plainly say that this is a movie that was made for fans of the game. It's definitely not strong on plot. Focuses mostly on Katana and Johnny Cage. So all you Johnny Cage and Katana mains out there, hey man, this movie is pretty much for you. Definitely other characters get their chance to shine as well. But we definitely get a really cool fight scene to open up the story between King Gerald and Shao Kahn. At one point or another, you kind of think that King Gerald is going to take the victory, but Shao Kahn is able to take him down in a gruesome fashion, and it is spectacular to witness. Definitely the fatalities in this movie, that's what you come here to see. You know, Mortal Kombat has always been a very violent franchise, and the movie definitely follows suit for sure. But it definitely pays homage to some of the classic characters that we have grown to love for the past 30 years as well, and I am happy that I have gotten to witness it for sure. If we do want to take a second to explore some of the plot here, essentially Shao Kahn has taken over Edenia after the death of King Gerald. So he essentially raises Katana as his own daughter, just like the game. He takes Sindel as his queen, even though she's kind of like a specter zombie throughout the majority of the film. Speaking of Sindel, we have a spectacular fight scene between her and Sonya Blade, which Sonya ends up taking the victory in there with a spectacular fatality. So good, dude. I feel like it was ripped right out of Mortal Kombat 11. Pretty sure that's where that fatality came from. So definitely, you know, you're getting some good gore, some amazing fight scenes here. That's the other thing too. The majority of the actors and actresses here definitely have some fight training, fight choreography, and it is spectacular in every single one of them. Sindel, Sonya, not my favorite fight, but definitely it's up there for sure. So with that, you know, so the goal for Shao Kahn in this movie is to take over Earthrealm. And if you know Mortal Kombat, you know that you need 10 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournament victories to be able to enter a realm to merge it with your own perspective realm. So obviously we all know Shao Kahn is from Outworld. So he has already merged Outworld with Edenia. So now he's trying to do the same to Earthrealm. So essentially within this movie, you need 5 victories over 5 Earthrealm champions against 5 Outworld champions to claim victory. They have 9 victories, so this is the last chance for Earthrealm to defend itself. It's definitely cool. I feel like more so than the first movie, this movie, it actually feels like a tournament aspect. It didn't really feel tournament-esque in the first movie. All the fights kind of seemed random. You know, it's just, I don't know, it was more of a battle between Scorpion and Sub-Zero with their bloodline lineages, but this one actually feels like a tournament, like you're defending, like you're trying to claim a championship within a tournament. So that would definitely put a smile on my face for sure. Every fight meant something to get closer to claiming victory in the actual tournament itself. We also have Johnny Cage taking a very prominent role within the movie itself, kind of how it prophesized within the trailers. So he has a very interesting fight scene against Katana, where he doesn't really know if the Mortal Kombat tournament is real or not. I feel like this is very accustomed to the games as well, where, you know, he needs to see the magic ability of some of the combatants to really be convinced that Earthrealm is in true peril. So that's really showcased well within the movies here. You know, the actor that portrays Johnny Cage does a fantastic job of really kind of showcasing that gritty, kind of no sense attitude, and eventually transforms into a suitable hero by the end of the movie. They definitely replicate Katana and Johnny Cage's iconic moves respectfully to the characters from the video games. You know, the majority of Johnny's moveset is mostly kicks and jump kicks and flip kicks. So definitely a really good job done with the choreography of Johnny Cage. I really like the clothing choices and the outfits as well. You know, he's a failing Hollywood actor, and Katana is an Indian outworld princess that's, secretly trying to help Earthrealm defeat Outworld so that the same fate that happened upon her father in Edenia doesn't befall Earthrealm. So you gotta appreciate that for sure. Then you have Jade and Jackson there as well. They have a spectacular fight scene as well. Of course, put the black against the black. I don't know why. I don't know if that was the coincidence or whatnot, but it was still a great fight scene nevertheless. The actress that portrays Jade, I know her from, she played a bad guy in the Uncharted live action movie with Tom Holland. She's done some other iconic roles as well, but I really enjoyed her performance as Jade here. You don't only really notice that she doesn't have hair. I don't know why so many people were having an issue with that, but her performance as Jade really put a smile on my face. She is Katana's best friend, but after it's found that Katana is helping out Earthrealm, she does stay loyal to Shao Kahn for a time until she realizes how insane Shao Kahn is for trying to take over Earthrealm. And then after Jax shows her some mercy after their epic battle nevertheless, she is eventually turned to help out Earthrealm as well. Exactly how the story happens within the video game as well. So like I said, great fight choreography. Really enjoyed their outfits as well. Jax's metal arms definitely don't disappoint at all whatsoever. Just very satisfying to watch for sure. Great popcorn scenes, great popcorn flick. Now, my personal favorite fight scene in the movie was between Liu Kang and the Revenant Kung Lao. As we know, Kung Lao met his demise in the original movie, so definitely the kung fu prowess by the actor that portrays Kung Lao or Liu Kang, definitely some of the best in the entire movie in my opinion, which makes sense because they're two of the best fighters within the video game as well. But Kung Lao, I feel more so than anybody else, I feel like portrays his video game counterpart better than any other actor or actress in the entire movie. It's definitely not to take away from anybody else, but just his moveset between the hat throws and just the kicking and the punching prowess, you could not tell the difference between Kung Lao from the video game and Kung Lao from the movie. It's spectacular, it really was. Kudos. Chef's kiss to that fight scene for sure. Liu Kang, same thing. I know we heard some rumors that he may potentially be replaced in the second one because he was too skinny in the first one, but he definitely packed on some muscle for this one, and he looked more like the iconic character from the video games for sure in this one than he did in the first one. So Liu Kang has always been my personal favorite character. He is not the champion within the movies. I feel like that was already kind of established in the first one. The same thing kind of holds short here, but he definitely has his battles against Shao Kahn, and honestly, he's proven to be a better combatant than Shao Kahn. But Shao Kahn figures out a way to gain immortality throughout the tournament, so that's why he's so hard to kill when he has invulnerability and immortality. But Liu Kang's ability with the dragon fire and him saying that he was the last son of the dragons too, I found that pretty cool too. We don't really know too much of Liu Kang's backstory other than him being a Shaolin monk, but we've never been introduced to his parents or whatnot. As we know, that Kung Lao is technically a descendant of the great Kung Lao, but we've heard rumblings that maybe Liu Kang is Kung Lao's cousin. I feel like we've heard that in some lineage of Mortal Kombat, but that hasn't really been confirmed within the movies though. But just my own personal interest, just because he's my favorite character. Maybe one day we could get that, but definitely Liu Kang and Kung Lao definitely exuberated some of my favorite aspects of the movie. And him taking Kung Lao out with that fatality, with the razor-edged hat on the ground, and him just showcasing the emotion and the tears, just saying that he wants to save him one day, but just not today. Yeah. Chef's kiss once again. Definitely one of my favorite fight scenes in the movie for sure. Then of course you can't mention Mortal Kombat without talking about the feud that makes it so popular even to this day. That is the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero rivalry, which of course in this movie Sub-Zero is now Noob Saibot. Now, he has gone through the ritual with Quan Chi in the Nether Realm that transforms him from Sub-Zero after his death into Noob Saibot, the Spectre. And easily one of the coolest fight scenes I've ever seen. It's Noob Saibot and like his darkness shadow twin versus Scorpion and Johnny Cage. And oh yeah, Kano's back too. I knew for a fact there was no way they were going to keep Kano dead in this movie. Now, he was so much of a comic relief in the first one. Honestly, he kind of saved the first one, in my opinion. Brought him back for this one too, and he provides of the necessary comic relief. Come on, you fuck nuggets. Let's go get this pot of treasure here so we can save Earthrealm. He kind of turns tide and realizes that we do not want Earthrealm to end up like Outworld, so we need to be saving this for sure, which makes sense. It's definitely a Kano thing to do for sure, you know, just to do whatever was within his best interest. He just happens to have the Shinnok amulet on him that he stole even after death, and that's what gives Shao Kahn his immortality. It's freaking hilarious, man. It really is. Pretty much every line of dialogue spoken by Kano once again is just fantastic. It really is. So then fight scenes with him, he utilizes his iconic eye laser. Johnny Cage, you know, utilizes his iconic shadow kick within the Noob Saibot fight. It's cool that it takes all three of them to take down Noob Saibot. It just wasn't Scorpion by himself. So definitely, you know, that's spectacular, man. It really is. I'm very happy to see that rivalry continue even within the movie franchise. And speaking of Scorpion, then we got to talk about Cole as well. The only fight scene that Cole had was against Shao Kahn within the tournament. I think I'll speak for myself and every other Mortal Kombat fan in existence that as soon as that Cole stepped into that acid bath stage with Shao Kahn, we all knew he's gonna die. Shout out to Ed Boon for that one. Oh yeah, speaking of Ed Boon, he had a cameo within the bar scene with Johnny Cage as well. That was super cool. That definitely gave Stan Lee feels for sure. I was really happy to see that. That was super cool, man. But you know, and it was crazy as he put up a good fight against Shao Kahn too. They didn't just let him kill him easily, but you know, this is after Shao Kahn had acquired the immortality from the Shinnok amulet. So it was definitely it was a fantastic fight scene that it feels like Cole was actually winning. But I mean, he was able to slice his throat and everything, but with the invulnerability power, was able to reverse it, could heal his throat and flip him on his backside, and literally splatter his skull with the iconic Shao Kahn hammer. Yeah, spectacular. Then he just oozes his body, just kind of nubs his body into the acid bath though. I was kind of mad. It would have been cool if they would have had like a skeleton pop up from the acid bath like they do in the actual fatality in the game, but they didn't do Cole like that. But definitely his headless corpse got scooted into the acid bath, and yeah, that put a sadistic smile on my face for sure. So bravo for that. Definitely worth mentioning the set pieces as well. Every fighting scenario takes place in a classic Mortal Kombat arena. We have the pit, we have the acid bath, we have Shao Kahn's fortress, we have that vortex where Liu Kang and Kung Lao fight. I can't remember the name of it, but that purple where the shadowy figures are, that's an iconic one. Essentially every set piece is something related to the Mortal Kombat experience, man. So definitely have to love that as well. Now let's go ahead and let's take it to the final battle here. We have Shao Kahn versus pretty much everybody. Ends up killing Jax. It's a hell of a death. My boy really put up a good fight, and you kind of think for a second Jax might have a chance, but Shao Kahn's just too strong. Then he takes out my main, Liu Kang, and I found it cool that Liu Kang even said that Raiden told him that he wasn't the chosen one. So I mean, it's all right, but I still feel like, you know, Liu Kang kind of outclassed him in every sense of the word in their battle as well, but he still had his immortality, so that's why Liu Kang wasn't able to take him down. So of course, as we saw, Shao Kahn ends up stabbing Liu Kang in the abdomen, which essentially kills him, it seems. But it's almost like Liu Kang transforms into a fire spirit at the end of his life. So I don't know if this is like a prelude to him becoming like Fire God Liu Kang, which I don't think I'm ready for that. Yeah, we need to push that back way Oh, you know, we still need to have like an Onaga, the Dragon King storyline as well with a Shujinko before we get all the way to like a freaking making Liu Kang a fire god. I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. Even though, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, Liu Kang has still my personal favorite character, so I mean, if they center the story on him for the third one, which the third one is confirmed, it would appear that the third one is going to focusing on them getting all their friends back. But, you know, I don't know if I'm ready to see Fire Guy Liu Kang, especially with Raiden still kind of in the mix. But honestly, Raiden kind of took a backseat in this one. He was almost like the damsel in distress. So, you know, I mean, I still enjoyed his inclusion, but it would have been cool to maybe see a Raiden versus a Shao Kahn. I feel like I would have enjoyed that, but not so much, unfortunately. He definitely still just plays like a mentor role to all of Earthrealm's champions. So, of course, you know, the final battle ends up being Kitana versus Shao Kahn, and she ends up getting revenge for him killing her father and taking over Edenia. I definitely kind of like that ending. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, when it comes to all of the Patreons of Mortal Kombat, probably Kitana and Sindel are the two that he took the most away from. So them focusing the story on her and her being able to exact her revenge for essentially him stealing her life away, you know, that was super cool to see. So I'm sure a lot of Mortal Kombat Patreons for the original story might not like that too much, but if you remember, in some of the stories, Kitana does eventually become the Khan of Outworld after Shao Kahn's defeat, and some of the later parts of the storyline. Not necessarily the classic storyline, but definitely the later storylines from the PS3 and PS4, PS5 era. You know, see, it eventually does take over Outworld. So you definitely gotta appreciate that for sure. So, did I have any nitpicks? Couple. They didn't include any of the classic Mortal Kombat love stories. Liu Kang and Kitana, no tension at all. No love chemistry at all. Doesn't even get touched upon in the story at all whatsoever. Deal breaker? No. Annoyance, since it's a core part of the Mortal Kombat story, a little bit. Any chemistry between Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade? Just the slightest slither. You know, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. Still, it's just not really there. I mean, we know their backstory, you know, we're almost about 17, 18 minutes in here. Obviously, I'm a core lifelong Mortal Kombat fan, man. So I definitely came to this video from the perspective of being a core fan of the franchise. Hopefully y'all can appreciate the effort here, man. But, you know, am I ready to say this is the best Mortal Kombat movie I've ever seen? Is this better than the 1995 version? It's right. It's right there. It's right there. Okay? And that's okay. Okay, that should about wrap us up here, man. So, do I recommend this movie? I mean, surely if you watched this video all the way through, I would hope that you've already seen the movie. If not, hey man, thank you. I appreciate you. That means you appreciate the channel even more so than even, you know, not being worried about spoilers. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan and you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Marcus. I've been a Mortal Kombat fan since I was a 4-year-old boy. That's literally since the video game's inception. I've been here since 1992, brother, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I've played every major core title in the franchise, and I don't know, it's always been my favorite fighting game of all time. I don't really include Smash Brothers as a fighting game. That's more of a party game, but like a core fighting game, I've always preferred Mortal Kombat to like Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, so on and so forth. Just, I don't know, maybe I'm bored. I guess I just like the blood and guts for some reason. So it is to it, man. Okay, that's gonna do it here, man. So if you appreciated the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you want to follow all of my crazy content here, get subscribed. You can follow me at youtube.com/SmartJack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you guys for the years of support, and I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later.